You don't tell me the truth, man.
Greetings, everyone. It is Dynasty Beer Search for Uru. Thank you so much for joining us. As we always do before we get started, make sure we hit that like button. Again, please hit that like button as you come to the chat room. Also, make sure you share the content as well. There's about 80, I think we're approaching 84,000 of you. Again, it's about 84,000 of you. So if I got all 84,000 of you to buy a book, share, like, we'll be about as big as BET. So again, go ahead and support the content, like, share, subscribe. Also go to dynastymir.com. Again, go to dynastymir.com while you're there. Make sure you grab some merchandise, the books, Black Love or Die Trying shirt.
Yeah, I like that shirt, man.
Yep. Shout out to Gina. Was it Gina? No. It was some. What's her name that came up with this? I got to give credit where credit is due. Oh man, what's Wahidism? She goes by the name Wahid or Razidism. Wahidism. I think that's the name she goes by. She's the one that came up with this idea, so I got to give her a shout out. Thank you so much. Got to give credit where credit is due. So guys, make sure you go to dynastymir.com and buy the Black Love or Die Trying shirt. Buy some books. Without further ado, also Patreon. Become a monthly Patreon. Patreon.com. Search for Huru. Again, Patreon.com. Search for Huru. Please support, guys. Go ahead and sign up for your monthly subscription. And again, there's 83,000 of you all. If just each of you gave $1, that's that. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it like that. Leave it right there. So please go to patreon.com, search for Huru. Without further ado, also Saturday morning, 10 a.m., I will be on Find Ways to Win, Brother Steven's platform. Again, guys, make sure you go subscribe there as well. Find Ways to Win. That's the number 2. Go and subscribe. We'll be discussing college football. Me and him have a bet right now going on. He thinks that Auburn's going to come into Sanford Stadium and win, and that I think Fitzgerald might be on that narcotic. Sometime I don't know. Would he be smoking sometime down there in?
We'll see, man. We'll see. I think Auburn has more gas in the tanks and more horses in it pulling the carriage. I mean, that's just what I believe.
And so we're doing it old school. So he doesn't want to bet me gold anymore because I'm taking all this gold from all the bets I'm winning.
Yeah.
So
hey man, I paid dearly for not betting, but Alabama not being in championship. I bet on Clemson. I lost. You got your gold, man.
Yeah.
You taught me a lesson. We're gonna go back to old Chick-fil-A biscuits, chicken biscuits with eggs. That's what we got to do. Let's stay
right. Good. So we are betting Chick-fil-A. So if I win, he's gonna buy me a number 4. That's the 4-count strip meal. Gonna make the with the large fry and a large lemonade. If he wins, he wants some chicken biscuits, which is okay.
We're going to do. You're going to do apples to apples, man. That bet will come up more to mine.
But you want several chicken biscuits. Like how many? Do you want a couple of chicken biscuit meals? Like what you want, Fitzgerald?
No, I just like chicken. Chicken with topped with egg. No, that's all 2 of those. But you're that should easily be like maybe a $10 bill should take care of that. But the way you're talking,
no, mine's is about a $10 bill too.
Okay, well we have to think about something. $10.
So we bet Chick-fil-A. So he's gonna be buying my Chick-fil-A come Monday. Because well, actually, what time do we play on Saturday? Hold on, let me look this up real quick for sure. So.
Well, you guys, I don't know if that's an afternoon game. Alabama, we play Texas A&M. So I don't know if you guys are going to play like the 3 p.m. game. We play the 1, or we play the late game, or you play the late game. I'm not sure.
It's a night game, so we're playing at 7:30. So, thank you, Fitzgerald, ahead of time for my lunch on Monday. Appreciate it. Thank you, Fitzgerald. I appreciate it.
Hey, don't all of a sudden your cell phone don't get disconnected stuff when I'm trying to call you.
No, my phone right here. Right here.
Okay. All right.
Right here.
To see you on Fall is Ball.
Fall is ball, guys. Fall is ball. So 10 a.m., Brother Fitzgerald's platform, Find Ways to Win. That's where you will find me. And we're going to be discussing college football and how Alabama's going to get upset this weekend probably against Texas A&M.
Well, that's what? Oh, come on, man. No, I ain't that good. That's not right to say. Hey, but man, I saw a little kind of eye-opening story. You hate to come across these stories. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fitzgerald Stevens. Down here in Florida and California, Disney World has announced that they are laying off 28,000 people between the two. California, your home state, Florida, down here where I live. I am living here in Tampa. I'm probably like a little less than an hour and a half away from west of Orlando, where Disney World is. 28,000 people, one company, affecting California and here in Florida. That's significant, man. That's significant. What is this great economy they talk about is bouncing back? Explain this to me.
Yo, no one's going to Disney World no one's going to Disney World or Disneyland.
No one's coming down there. Florida is a primary tourism state, and your home state of California depends a lot on tourism also.
Oh yeah,
many people put that together, but man, that's a lot of people. Prince Don Asimir, to get pink slips at this close to the year, but wow, it's a wonder they actually stayed open this long.
And then also too, they're saying that with the airlines, in fact, I was going to make the topic this. They're saying with the airlines, if there's no relief for the airlines, here in the next couple of days, they're going to have issues with. They're going to have to lay off a lot of staff as well, in the thousands.
Yeah. I mean, people are not necessarily flying and traveling. Especially with the restrictions that have been implemented. It's kind of tough. It's kind of tough for these colossal industries to really keep that type of payload. Remember when I had my business, and I've learned in business your biggest expense is your labor. So if you don't have the revenue coming in, how can you pay your labor? It's just really tough, man. I mean, it points so much to getting involved in entrepreneurship, ladies and gentlemen, building your own economic platform now more than ever. I mean, it's just so vital that people take action to do that, because I just don't see any other way long-term growth. I really don't. I mean, I think we're coming up with a couple indicators that's saying that, okay, well, maybe we can have a bounce back after the presidential election. Prince Amir, to do a sidetrack, President Trump has initiated talking about the Platinum Plan, specifically targeting Black Americans. What's your take on that? Democrats ain't saying anything now.
Right. So we'll see where it goes.
They're not saying anything. They don't have, they're not, and I'm not trying to get political here. We're just trying to just talk about economics. My thing is not necessarily with politics, which I detest. But I am concerned about the economic well-beings of men and women, not only this country but around the world. What do you think about that, man? I mean, Have we heard Clinton say that? Have we heard Hillary Rodham say it? Have we heard George Bush the first and the second, and definitely Ronald Reagan say it? Have we heard Jimmy Carter say it? Did we even hear Barack Obama say it?
Oh God, no.
So what do you think? Because it's economy. Because it's obvious that it is a well-known thing that. That segment group, the African Americans, one that you and I belong to, we are some of the worst hit economically that it is. I mean, least the Native Americans, they have sovereign land. On sovereign land, they can put casinos. They can generate that revenue. It's a lot of power with owning your own land, even if a reservation and you can say what you want. Well, this, and they have property this, but they still have their own land. They have a block of territory that the minerals come out there, the rights come out there. They have their own police forces, tribal police, and everything. So they have a much more in my case a leg up for the most part. So down here, one of the richest organizations down here in Florida is a Seminole Nation. The Seminole, that's a tribe. It's not some cats who just play on the football team up Florida State. That's an actual tribe. Seminole Nation down here, not too far away from where I live. multi-billion-dollar casinos, not only here but down in the Miami area. I mean, these guys are huge. These guys have prime real estate, and I don't know how much is benefiting their people and stuff, but I do know they have the right to the right to create something. I can't see where there's an African American nation in here that we have sovereign land that we could you get what I'm saying, Prince? So when someone says okay about this platinum plan, the political hype or it could be some legitimacy with it. Meanwhile, the other side is not saying anything. So
right.
I'm just curious on your take.
I think it's a step in the right direction. And again, Donald Trump is like one of the only presidents that got up on stage and spoke directly to Black people and said, "Hey, this is what I'm offering you guys." No one else has done that.
Yeah.
And specifically Black people, this is what I'm offering you guys.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, he made a similar thing, but he was talking about that in Detroit. I remember the question very well, and it caused me to turn my head when he said, with the other party, with Democratic Party, 40 years, what have you gotten? What have you done? No, I'm not Trump. No, I'm not Biden. I'm not neither one of them. Okay, let's get that straight. My political affiliation, belongs with the primary, with the working families of this nation building their own economic wealth. But I do adhere to certain policies. What policies are best to accomplish that? I do have to take note of that, and so will you. I'm just simply saying, it's just interesting that actually a president would speak like that with a very, very pressing issue. So it does merit being listened to, especially when the other side is not saying anything. No, I mean, I would like to see the other side, i.e. the Democrats, at least try to, okay, what's your plan? What is your plan? With African Americans being in this country the most marginalized, wealth is heading towards practically zero. And about 2050, maybe even 2045, what's your plan? I mean, you have to have something more besides beat Trump. I mean, right. What's your plan for economic prosperity? We know that we know that we're disproportionately underrepresented in the judgeships. Like I think President Trump's appointed like 200 judges since his tenure. That's a lot. That's going to be his biggest legacy. 200 judges that we have. Justice Amy Barrett. Look like there's nothing that the other side could stop her from being appointed to the Supreme Court. That means a lot to itself. That can mean voter redistricting. Civil rights laws could be re-put up there. Police brutality, police rights. It can mean a whole lot of things because the court will be in a place where it will really be tilted as far as for conservative agendas, and it won't be balanced. I believe in a balanced court, but that would be far from balanced and stuff. So a lot of things are at stake. A lot of things at stake. And for those who are not in the business of trying to accumulate and build wealth, I'm going to see. I think times are going to get significantly more difficult. Right. No, just my commentary for far as for the moment. But no. So it makes a big deal. Any policy that gets into policy, your wealth creation is very, very detrimental to your household. Extremely detrimental. No, it has to be something where we look, okay, what do we need to do to balance the scales, as far as in this nation and stuff. No, I want to show you something real quick. Dynas.
Go ahead. Guys, hit that like button again. Please hit that like button as you come to the chat room. Hit that like button, everybody.
I should hang this up on my wall.
Oh, let me see.
It's right here. Back during before the Civil War changed over, back in Reconstruction, right on the left, right there is these were black senators, primarily came out of Mississippi. Herman Relis, the gentleman on the left right there, Mississippi, right after just not even a generation to move from slavery, not a generation, about a few years, but these men were able to arise to the pinnacle of power in Mississippi. Anybody know about Mississippi? Know it's a staunch state for segregationists and basically denials of blacks with their rights. No, unfortunately, my state of Alabama has the same type of reputation too, but not like Mississippi. Mississippi is like took the cake far as cards with that. Louisiana wasn't too far behind. Pennsylvania wasn't too far behind. New York State wasn't too far behind. But my point of the matter is just what happened. These guys were able to go in there and rise to those ranks of senator. Then all of a sudden, you know what they fought them on? They took the vote. They basically the Klan came out and terrorized them. Now they had something like 18% of a voting, more than 18% of voting people turning out to vote in Mississippi. By the time they got one with the terrorists and the Klan, which I don't know, which I wish they would have fought back. A lot of them came out the Civil War. I mean, I really wish they would have fought back, but they didn't, and so a few more years after that, there were no senators down there that shortly after that. And the voting had dwindled to down like 3% or less. That's where the Jim Crow laws came in, when they was talking about how many bars of soap, how many bubbles in a bar of soap. And you could be, in other words, they took the vote, they attacked the vote. And had these guys would have allowed equal access and freedom like white Americans and things, and to compete on an economic scale, who knows where the future, the present state of this country would stand. No, but yet now we fast forward. That was back in Civil War, ended back in 1864. That was probably like 1867, somewhere along the line like that. Okay, now still about 2020, we're still sitting up here talking about whether there should be a renewal of the Civil Rights Act. We're still talking about voting redistricting, redlining. We still talk about all the access to credit, access to lending. It's a very big deal whether you vote or not. It really is. Elections do matter now. So, but most of the policy have been designed against us to our detriment. Is particularly economic, keeping us out of fair land ownership, voting, our land and property is destroyed through redlinings, non-access to lending. Okay, so what you got? $2 trillion of spending power, big deal. How is it collectively being used? Right. And all these things, and all that's just why when someone says like, well, this platinum plan, I'm going to release about $500 billion. That's why a guy like my ears perk up, because you know what? That's the number one thing most important to me. What's your economic agenda? And I'm not talking about looping us all in one hole, because it disproportionately, Black Americans have often suffered at that. We've got the lowest of the low. So how are you going to particularly target one of the most marginalized people, if not the most marginalized people in the nation, and how can you balance the scale? So my thing with him, at least when President Trump said that, even though it's at least merits a hearing. Senator Biden has not said a word. Senator Kamala Harris has not said a word. President Barack Obama didn't say a word. So these merit some things. I mean, as crazy as the political environment, political environment there is right now, I welcome type programs like that, and similar programs coming up like that will try to to level the playing field. I still personally think the best way you can level the playing field, regardless, and you don't need anybody to vote on this for you, is to become an entrepreneur. I truly do. You guys hear me talk that so much, and I firmly believe it. And not necessarily I'm against jobs. I'm not against jobs at all, man. I mean, gosh, that would be silly on my part, or anyone's part, to say you're against a job. but but you want to be able to have your job work and finance your freedom, and your job finance your freedom by you taking a portion of that income and diverting it into something that you can own and that you can control. Because I'm of the opinion of mine that you must control your income. So when we get up here, we talk to you guys about Freebay. We talk to you about that instrument, that wealth building instrument. It gives you a chance to own your own business. Simply something that's under your control, something that no one has a cap on your income. You're dealing with gold. You're learning different other mechanisms of building wealth. You're able to run a global team from your cell phone in 149 countries. You're able to create residual income. You're able to minimize tax brackets, minimize taxes, because you have a business. And more importantly, you're able to build generational wealth for you and your family. We see so much things are coming up, and a lot of these issues are coming down in the near future. Right now is really going to be detrimental to people who are not prepared economically and financially for it. And I don't think I don't think job creation is I don't think necessarily waiting on someone else to build jobs for you to apply for and fight for is the best plan. I just don't. I mean, now I know the jobs can be expendable. For example, Ford just appointed a new CEO. New CEO. Okay. And I forget his name right now. I was looking at the article earlier. And you people, for those of you who think people have good jobs, right? I mean, many of you are here to that, even if you don't say it. But people, yeah, they got a good job. Well, there's a CFO in there. CFO is a chief financial officer, generally about the second, if not the third in command. No, new CEO came on here the first day on his job. The first day he took over, he fired that CFO.
Oh, wow.
So you talk about a man who could have been a millionaire with stock options were there, but he was an employee. He just took his job just like that. You know who he couldn't fire? The William Ford. William Ford was standing next to him on the right on one of his new Ford pickups. I think it was a 250 or 350. He couldn't fire him because his name was up on the marketplace. See, so but the other guy, the new CEO who works for Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford wasn't worried about anything because he was just concerned. He was concerned about getting that stock price back up. And so this was a guy who people would have thought, man, if I can get to this echelon, I'm set. Man, if I can get up there. Well, this was a guy through his savvy with the former CEO who worked hard. Obviously, he's intelligent. Obviously, he's highly educated to get to that level, has a savvy, connected, probably on a couple of boards around town or whatever and stuff like that. All of a sudden, he comes in. Imagine that, man. His job is gone. His job is gone just because one guy who was over here said, man, we don't need you anymore. I'll go bring my own people in. And so when you start hearing these things, like a man at that position, he can get fired, laid off, or without income. What about the average person? What about them? What about those workers within the Disney Corporation? 28,000 of them. Poof. In California and Florida. Go ahead, Prince.
Gerald, and they just announced United Airlines and American combined furloughing 33,000 employees.
Okay. Now I've gotten a little bit better at math. I got a little bit better. I have added on to education with my math. I'm not as nervous taking the test as I am right now, but I'm just going to do a simple thing. 28,000 plus how many?
33,000.
33,000. 28,000 plus 33,000. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's 61,000 households that don't have a job anymore. 61,000. Now let's multiply that at least by 3. Okay, why do you say 3, Fitzgerald? Well, let's just see if maybe a lot of those guys are married, or they have at least one child. So now you times that 61,000 times 2. This is how many people are affected by a split decision just like that. Some of those airline employees are actually senior officials. That some of them are six-figure paid pilots. The executive suite. You know, I have a close relative. She works in the airline business. Okay, and matter of fact, I believe she works for American. Okay, man, she's been there about over 20 years, and those are great jobs. A flight attendant, great jobs, but you see what I'm saying? 61,000 jobs have disappeared between just a couple of organizations, between three organizations. Do you still think you're all right? Do you still think you don't need to put something together you own? Do you still don't think that you don't see the need to maybe start you a networking business, like a freebie business, where you're acquiring assets, saving in gold, and getting paid off the efforts of others, minimize your tax benefits? Do you still see that you don't have a need, not a like, or not something that to build an income outside your job? Do you still feel good about what you're doing right now, or are you going to take that position like, I'm all right, I'm the CFO of the company, I'm straight. Ford ain't going nowhere. Ford been around for over 100 years, dog. I'm through. United, man, people always going to be flying. American, people always going to be flying, man. They're going all over the world. Look up in the sky. You see all these airplanes there. You still think so? You still think you're all right? Now, if that's coming with, if those are coming with cash-rich companies like the Disney Corporation, the same corporation that's behind the Black Panther franchises and the Marvel, that's all Disney. You know, each one, those franchises, some of those franchises making over $1 billion per. The Avengers and the Spider-Mans, the Iron Man, that's all Disney. You know, the theme parks is just one of their things. Maybe you heard of this, Pixar Studios, that's Disney. Okay, and so we got 61,000 people that are affected. The 61,000 jobs that's gone. Okay, that put 61,000 homes in jeopardy. How are you going to pay the mortgage now? You think maybe some of those people have met people like Prince Amir and myself and said, hey, you know what? You need to, do you keep your income options open? You look for ways to make money. No, I'm straight. I'm good. Call me when you make some money. I don't think many of them, I think many of them like, gosh, okay, let me get these guys or gals some calls with similar programs like this, or let me try to start something out. There's an old country saying, and it's old, but it rings still true. You know, you don't want to start digging your well when you need water.
All right.
You don't. So you need to be figuring out, okay, how can I put something together? How can I put something together for me and my family that we own? The sad average, a lot of people is like, hold on, okay, we're trying to see what's going to happen. We're trying to see what's going to happen with the COVID. Ladies and gentlemen, I think, and I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. And Prince Amir, I'll defer to you on that. I think COVID will last all through 2021 also. Okay. I think it'll last.
When you say it will last through 2021, what do you mean exactly?
The restrictions, the upheaval, and everything else is going like that. I don't think they're really going to neutralize that. I think they're going to have at least I think they're going to need at least another 12 to 18 months to get that under control on a global scale.
Well, they're starting to loosen the restrictions already. Okay,
let me tell you what the loose restrictions mean. Great, we have a hot shot governor down here. You know, Maverick Cat. You know, nothing going on that stuff. Nothing. We can't handle it. You know, we can handle it. Strong supporter. Whatever the president does, he does do it. His name is Governor Ron DeSantis. Now, if you look at Governor Ron DeSantis, a young cat, man, probably like a few years older than you, Dinas.
Really?
Yeah. You look at his resume, man. It's something like who's who among American leaders. This guy, man, a naval officer, Harvard law graduate. I mean, the pedigree is 9. But some of the way he deals with stuff, man, it's just like, man, dude, how are you thinking? I mean, are you using this education you're talking about? You know, I mean, how are you thinking? You just can't discount science and everything. But for the most part, Governor DeSantis has made some moves I would have made myself. You got to get your state back to work. So kudos to you on that, Governor DeSantis. Hey, I'm not up there in Tallahassee in the governor's chair. I don't know what pressure you are, but I really think, you have to look at some things. Number one, the economy, twice has tried to open this economy up, and full tilt for pretty much well. And so when Florida's had some very, very high cases, we start stabilizing those. So just about 2 weeks ago, the man says, okay, we're going to start locking off the restaurant, lifting restrictions for the restaurants. And then you go into Chick-fil-A, lo and behold, you can go in there now. You don't have to look to drive through that. That's great. I mean, I'm all for that. That was about 2 weeks ago. Now we're having an uptick in COVID viruses now. Where we're having an uptick. It's not controlled. It's not under control. People's lives are still being risked out there. And so
let me ask you this, Fitzgerald. If you're in Governor DeSantis' position or in his role, obviously the restaurant industry has been hit the hardest by these COVID shutdowns. Now, Chick-fil-A is going to be fine. Chick-fil-A is going to be fine. But, a lot of these mom and pops and even big chains have have shuttered. Like, what would you do differently? Because I'm just like, well, people have to operate in
yes, but I would open up in slower phases. I would go in slower phases. And now if business owners, small business owners, and I know those are voters for me, I would be looking at, man, I would feel that you got to get these back to work. You people have got to get back to work. I understand that. But I would hear more so to the scientists. I would hear more to the health professionals, and I would open up in phases. I would like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, finally work up to phase 5 where we got a full tilt opening. And I definitely would have more testings. I would have more centers ready and available. I wouldn't issue a mandatory mask alert. I wouldn't issue that. I hate wearing them. I mean, I really do. I mean, I wear them. I keep them in my vehicle. When I have to go in stores, I adhere to the rules there. But as soon as I get out, man, I'm taking it off like that. I just don't like them. But I would have to try to balance. How do I balance closing my economy? Putting millions of people out of work, but opening my economy too soon and possibly running along the line of affecting hundreds of thousands of people with this virus that we don't seem to have under control. I mean, so it's a catch-22. But I would look at definitely more testing. I mean, I would look at more testing, more quarantines, and I probably would make pass some legislation on a statewide level. Hey, like, you medical professionals, you hospitals, you're going to have to start capping some of these bills. I mean, because what you guys are charging with this COVID things, I mean, it's driving people into bankruptcy. Don asked, what would COVID have done to your finances if you didn't have the insurance? You went in there.
I think one of my bills was like, goodness, for just like an X-ray, I think it was in the thousands, like hospital stay.
I mean, what would that have done if you didn't have the insurance? Well, that's another thing with the possible rolling back the Affordable Health Care Act. So people like myself who have had some pre-existing conditions, good luck. I mean, you're out. You better be an entrepreneur, Fitzgerald. You better figure out. You better start making that $33,000 a month that you've been saying that you want to do, or the $1 million a month residual income. You better to, because you're going to need to be at those levels just to take care of yourself. To take care of yourself in the event of a crisis, because you're probably going to be insurable at 56 under the standard system that we have now if you don't have the money. So that's why it's so important to look at ways, okay, how do I make sure that my home is taken care of? And and we're not trying to talk to you doom and gloom, ladies and gentlemen. Please hear our heart. That's not where we're trying to go. We're trying to let you know, hey, you open up your door, there are 4 rattlesnakes out there. When you open up that door, there are 4 rattlesnakes. You might want to go out the garage door and start building something to protect yourself, because that door is shut off. Now you can try to dodge it if you want to, like you used to. Because back in the days, it used to be 1 rattlesnake, but he was 100 yards away. You couldn't even see him. Now this thing's done moved closer. Now you have COVID. And what are the rattlesnakes? You have COVID. You have unemployment. Okay, you have which you have demons of foreclosures, and you have all these factors that's going to it. You have inundated medical system. Medical costs are rising and stuff, and then you have attack on Affordable Care Act, and you have much less capital to borrowing and starting traditional business. So you have a whole lot of things, and guess what? It's getting closer. It's getting closer and getting closer. Now it is a triple threat, to your well-being and to your quality of life, and not only to your family's quality of life. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the shock and awe of not having a job? Listen, I know what it is. I know what it is to lose a home. I know what it is to lose a job, get fired from a job, and you're having to drive home to tell your spouse you don't have to work anymore. You don't have a job anymore. Now couples like to say, okay, we can weather the storm, and I'm going to speak directly to the men. No, I'm going to speak directly to the men. I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening right here. When you make a thing like that, and you're blessed to have a good woman, God, that's wonderful. And but even that good woman, and you go to her and you say, hey, I don't have an income coming in anymore. She's like, okay, well, we'll get through. But in her mind, she's scared to death. Y'all better figure it out, sir. You better figure it out. As a matter of fact, that's not even her job to do that. That's yours. You better go figure it out. I'm talking about you. If you take it on the family, you take it on the wife, you got that. That's your responsibility. I remember having to have that talk. My wife and I, like when we were together, okay, we'll figure it out. But man, I could see the fear. And and so it didn't make a difference, what I had to do, or what job I had to go down to. When I say go down, as far as my income level, as far as my education level, it was my job to figure out. That's what they're looking for you, ma'am, sir. Sir. That's what they're looking for you, stability. You better have this thing figured out. And so what I'm advocating, we already see thousands upon thousands of people are being laid off, are being in jeopardy or laid off. So don't think your industry is immune for this. Now we can look at the places like Home Depot, Lowe's, Amazon, probably the king of a Walmart. They can't keep enough people there. And for those of you saying, well, they only pay $15 an hour, try zero. Okay. But in the meantime, you can, take some jobs like that if it comes to that, because you better have a contingency plan. If you're not going to build something, you better have a contingency plan of what you're going to do, because this stuff is going to come to a house near you. I run a global gold business, gold and crypto business. And I have close to 12,000 affiliates in that thing right now. Even I went out there and say, hey, Home Depot, I see you guys got something like that. Let me go in there. And what do you want to do, Fitzgerald, man? But your resume, man, look like you're a little overqualified. No big deal. No, I'll just go ahead and get it. Took a job. It's okay. We got something we can do from 7-Eleven. That's cool. I'm up anyway. So I put something together. Now I'm still building my freebie business, still building my YouTube channel, still working on my janitorial business plan, still ready to launch that. But like, I had the time, and rather than sit by idle, so let me go ahead and put something up. Let me stack stuff, just in case other things start going wrong. And if I can add another one on, let me keep doing it. I'm in a position now to take advantage of time, not doing it forever, ladies and gentlemen, just doing it at the way where I am right now. What can I do with the money? Buy more gold, expand my business, buy more SEO, search engine optimization, as far as my website, to get more customers to come in there. I can invest that. Because you're talking to a man that you're talking to a man who believes in multiple streams of income. Some businesses I think are immune to this. I have friends that I have a first cousin that owns a very successful trucking company. Stevens Trucking in Montgomery, Alabama. You know, he does very well, but he's also in real estate too. I have a neighbor. He is in the trading. He doesn't work a job. Okay, his wife is a nurse, and so he's in a different mix. And I have people who make YouTube pages and YouTube channels like Prince Amir. I have people who work in a family who are in the military, work in the airlines, different type of thing. One of my family members, I have two close relatives in the airline business. One of them will tell you right now, traffic is over 70% down. It's calling back. It's getting up there, probably like it was over 70%. Now it's crawling back 50% to 65, but still, man, they're counting every dime and dollar. You know, I have another relative who's a senior budget director. He deals with finances. I watched him yesterday. That relative happens to be my middle brother. You know, he was sitting up there. He's working from eHome now, not eHome. He's working primarily from home. He was down here yesterday. We were sitting up here talking, the three of us. I'm the oldest of three sons. Both my brothers work remotely like that. They are in super great positions. But you better believe, you know, you look on their faces, man. They're not just as far as for me, and they're not just far for me, and I got me and my family fine. They're looking at their people, and you know, they're having to make some gut-wrenching decisions. No, so many of those people think, okay, we're going to have our pensions and we're going to be straight and just wait till this blow over, we're going to be fine. Some people are literally thinking, well, just wait till President Trump gets out there, or just wait till President Trump gets reelected. Like, that's our safety net. Ladies and gentlemen, they don't work for you. They don't. I'm sorry to say that. They don't work for you. They work for their lobbyists and their supporters. You know, that's who they work for, or those who can galvanize votes for them or against them. That's who they listen to. That's who they listen to. So you have got to get very, very serious about creating your own platform. You know, we talk about this, and we talk about this, and we talk about this, but I believe it more than ever. I believed it when I was like in my 20s. I definitely believe it now that I'm in my 50s, in my mid 50s. And then, you know, either you have the money or you don't. Either you have the money or you don't. It's really a simple formula. But you know what? Now, what are we doing? Your job will finance your freedom. Your job will finance your freedom. Do not despise your job. Now, I'm going to talk specifically to both men and women on the stream. You know, with those of you who have college education, or those who you think you need to have a college education, neither one is really going to guarantee you economic success. You know, for those of you who have degrees and you're like, wow, I'm not doing anything with my degree, or man, I'm getting paid so much less than I deserve. Don't sweat it. Stop beating yourself up. Okay, so don't do that. I mean, I did it for both of us. I did it for everyone on the stream. It doesn't work. Okay, so what you want to do? Okay, what is this man talking about? What's Freebay? How can I plug in? How can I get a system that I can make work for me instead of me working for someone else's system? How can I build wealth? Because what you don't need a degree. You need a system. You need a system that allows you to build wealth. A degree is not necessarily it. You doubt that? We left out one. We left out another one. I believe it was Shell or Exxon. They're Exxon Mobil. They're laying off 20,000 people too. So now we add another 20,000 on 61,000. So now I'm up to 81,000 jobs. Just went by like that. Now I went to school. I went to school with a gentleman when I was at Alabama. He is a petroleum engineer, very, 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 very highly paid, compensated. Okay. A lot of those petroleum engineers are going to be on an unemployment line. Why, Fitzgerald? Gas and oil is not in demand as much as it used to. Why, Mr. Fitzgerald? People are not traveling much as they used to. If people are furloughed, we have these restrictions, that means planes are not purchasing jet fuel like they used to. So that's dropping, and that's going to affect their salary. And obviously we see that. So what now, getting back to what I'm saying. Okay, stop beating yourself up. Okay, you're not a failure. Your education is not wasted. You just need a new education from what you've been taught. You're still highly intelligent, but hear me real cool, because I'm going to set some people free on the stream. But for those who listen and take action, you just need a new education. The education now is in entrepreneurship. And the main education you have to have with entrepreneurship is that you have to have very, very good people skills. You have to be able to inspire people to join with you for a greater purpose, to build something not only great for them, but to build something great for yourself because you're inspiring them. You have to know how to take advantage of systems. You have to know how to take advantage of social media to galvanize people to your product or service. You have to offer value to people. You have to find a system that pays you while you're sleeping. You have to build residual income, not looking necessarily going for a job. You have to focus on royalties, residuals, and dividends, and only focus on royalties, residuals, and dividends. The wage is what you get from your job. You put that into royalties, residuals, and dividends, and you're creating an income that's going to be continually going on and on and on and on and on for you, even on to your descendants, even after your death. You have to find a product or service that you can promote and you can get paid for with unlimited potential on your income. It has to be, if you don't have a lot of startup capital, well, great. Start you an e-commerce business. That's what the Freebay is. Start you something online. That's what YouTube is. I could talk to many of you guys about becoming an Amazon seller or a Walmart seller. There's people like that making over 6 figures a year just doing that. It's nothing wrong with being a part of someone else's system if it benefits you to the goals that you're trying to get to. No, it's nothing wrong with it at all. But you are a part of someone's system on a job that's giving very little benefit from you, except this. You work a certain amount of time, you get paid, whether that's 1 week, 2 weeks, or a month. You work a certain amount of time, you get paid. You work over a certain amount of time, you get paid. That's why when people say, wow, news interview people, many of you have heard it, many of you have seen it. Well, I can't believe they laid us off. I gave this job the best years of my life. How could they do this? It's almost Christmas. Those are nice little sob stories. Yeah. Oh, I'm not being cruel, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking to you like the grown folks we are. Those are nice little sob stories because the owner comes back with this, and he don't really interview. But let's talk behind the scenes how he's talking. Okay. Dynash, yeah, Mr. Fitzgerald. I can't believe you laid me off your company. I just worked for you and I did everything my best. Yes, you were a great employee. Well, you owe me, and okay, yeah, okay. Massa, pull the records for Mr. Amir. How long he's been working here? 22 years and 7 days and 3 months, sir. Okay, 3 months and 7 days. Great. Mr. Amir, I see that we paid you 23 years, 7 months, and we owe you partial for the 3 days. We paid you. I further look right here that you signed all the checks. So how am I being unfair to you? You agreed to work for me. Yes, you was in through the lines. You were promoted. You agreed to work for me. Did or did I not pay you? Yes or no? Mr. Mayor, you're kind of quiet. Did I not pay you? Yeah, Mr. Gerald, but you SOB and you this and you did this and all. Hold on. No sense. Please don't insult me. We'll have to have security escort your happy end out of here if you keep doing that. Did I pay you? Yes, but no buts. I bought your time for a certain amount of time. I don't need it anymore. Or I deem to go into another direction. Or I simply don't want you here anymore. How am I being bad? You cash the checks. That's
Right.
how we really talk. Now they'll come around and say, well, we care about our people and we care about the value of our people.
The family. We're family. We're family. Oh, Fitzgerald froze up on us. Guys, hit that like button. Again, please hit that like button. Also, make sure you go to dynasmir.com. Again, make sure you go to dynasmir.com.
That's for the
Fitzgerald.
television.
Okay, you're back now. Go.
So that's what that's for. And I don't mean to be on the hard, but how about this? How about a thing like this? Dynas, yeah, Mr. Fitzgerald, man. Listen, I got some tough news. I'm glad to let you go, man. It's a couple things came up. This COVID is kicking our end. You know, I hate to do it. You know, I gotta let you go. And man, gosh, you know, it's tough. And it is tough on some people. Some people really care about their people, believe it or not.
All right.
How about instead of that? How about instead of this? How about this reaction from Mr. Mir? Hey, Mr. Fitzgerald, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it. I'm going to be all right. What do you mean that you're going to be all right? Well, Mr. Fitzgerald, you must know, over the last 6 to 10 years, I've been building my own business on the side. I built up a nice little residual income. So it's been taking care of my family. Matter of fact, when I started off, it was a little tough, you know, because I had to divert some of my money. But right now, for the last 3 years, I've been making, 3 times as much as salary what you paid me for. No. And I appreciate you getting an opportunity. Thank you. I heard you make a speech one time in a corporate boardroom when you came on loudspeaker, said, hey, you guys really need to think about diversifying your income. And so you was talking about doing 401ks. I heard that I need to build my own platform, and I started out slow. I built something. Appreciate you. I'm going to sit up there and shake your hand like as an owner, like, hey, respect to your Dynas Amir. You get it. You get it. The job was never your salvation. You were your salvation. Some of us can have that. When that happened with me back in March, through the COVID, I had a $100,000 a year job. $100,000 a year. I fought hard. They don't give those out many things. I was a salesman, and selling a very good product down in Florida that really, really fits. Okay. I worked my butt off. Driving a lot of hours, man. Within less than 3 weeks, I had put about 1,000 miles on my vehicle, driving to pretty much good parts of Florida, outside sales. I got a call one Friday. Didn't see this coming. I did see it coming. And so the owner called me in, Fitzgerald, and I could tell, man, he was really, agonized of what he had to do because I was a great employee to it. And he said, Fitzgerald, I got to let you go. I looked at him and I said to him, okay, you do what you have to do. Your company has to survive. It was a shocking answer. You do what you have to do. Your company has to survive. I can't blame you for making a call. I've had 2 businesses myself. I would have made the same call. Your company has to survive. Not that's what did I do? Can I go into work in that? No, I didn't do any of that. Why didn't I do that? Because I had a network referral business that was already close to 10, that was over 10,000 affiliates around the world, several countries, throughout Africa, throughout Europe, making residual income. Do you hear what I'm saying? I already had built that. I had built that about 5, almost 6 years prior to working for him. Started when I was up in Buffalo, New York, started with me. That I was getting paid in euros, that I had enough gold that that I could deal with. I had collected assets, and so it wasn't a calamity to me. We're like, okay, let me go ahead and okay, I'm cool. So when I drove back, I'm like, no, what am I going to do? I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to call more people. I'm going to make more phone calls. I'm going to give myself a raise, because the truth of the known. When I had started working back there, man, that commute was kicking my end. As far as what I drive, and I said, man, I can go ahead and do it. So that's my point. I had something already in place. I was like the scenario, similar to the scenario that I just told Dynas, that I painted with Dynas when he was saying like, okay, Mr. Fitzgerald already got something going. That's the power of that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, that's the power of that. Only an unwise person, and I'm not going to use the term fool. That's too harsh at the moment. Only an unwise person will see a storm coming on the horizon, and not prepare for it. Where I live down here, we have a thing called scatter showers, and literally you can see a real big rainstorm coming towards you. You can literally see it, but you're still cool, but you can see it coming toward you. Only someone unwise would not make preparations to get out the rain, roll their car windows up, shut their house windows, and prepare for that. You're seeing a storm. 81,000 jobs have disappeared, but just a couple of companies I'm saying in there, and they're not the only ones. There's going to be more. No, people saying, let's go back to get school. Okay, let's go get more student debt. How are you going to pay for it? Let's go ahead and apply for jobs. Yeah, they got some out there, but maybe I'm pay a good wage. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Maybe you'll get them. Now the market space is much more competition. You would be, or maybe you say, let's start a freebie business, a gold business. Let's start a referral business. Let's start something that we can control, that we can build. That if we're working with someone anyway, I can go out and talk to other people. Look, hey, you want to look for ways to make money? Yeah, they get involved and communicate with me. I help them make wealth. They help me make wealth. It's free to join. Prince Amir's link is strolling down at the bottom of the stream. We have trainings every day, 12 p.m. and 9 p.m. like clockwork every day that you're listed out on goldrocks.info. When you register, Prince Amir will definitely turn you on to that. And we will just plug you in and just get you started building that. If that's not for you, respect. Please do something. Please do something. I feel more strongly about this than I ever have in my life. Maybe I'm wiser now. Maybe at 56, I know what's going to happen. I can easily read your mail. I done been through it. I know what's going to go on. And I know that the simple thing, when it comes to business, they have but one question for you, and only one. Only one. Let me tell you what that question is. Let me tell you what that question is not. What school did you graduate from? Are you a college grad? Did you go to Harvard, Georgia, Alabama? What do they call you? Do they call you doctor, lawyer, accountant, master plumber, homemaker? What's your title? What neighborhood do you live in? Do you live in Buckhead or Bankhead? In the Atlanta area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Are you from a poor neighborhood or rich? That's not what they ask. What does your dad and your mom do? What's their last name? That's not what they asked you. They asked you this, and they only asked you this. Do you have the money or do you not? Oh, they say it in different ways. Would that be cash, credit card?
Right.
They have ways that, but do you have the money? That's what matters in the global economy, no matter where you are. And I could teach this in Accra, Ghana. I could teach this in Johannesburg, South Africa. I could teach this in Lagos, Nigeria, Freetown, Sierra Leone, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Lima, Peru, Caracas, Venezuela. This preaches all over the world. Do you have the money or do you not? Well, if you see that it is getting tougher for you to get that money, you need to put other streams of money that's available coming into your house, ma'am, sir, and you need to do it immediately. This is what we talk about with Freebay. All it is an opportunity for everyone. No, it should be, it could be, but not everyone would see it. And you're not looking for everyone. You're looking for your tribe. So it's serious, and we're gonna see more job losses, Prince, and we're gonna see more, unfortunately, foreclosures, and unfortunately we're gonna see more divorces. Let me tell you something. You probably ain't heard this one. You probably ain't heard someone say this on a forum like this, but maybe you heard a little bit in private. I'm going to take the secret off. Love get real funny when the money's not coming in. Love gets real funny. Romance, love don't pay bills. No, we're gonna live off our love. Good luck. I ain't never been able to live off of love. Not when I was a teenager, I thought I could. When I was a teenager, I thought I could. As long as I was getting my money from my mom and dad, it's cool. I can go take my little honey out somewhere and all that kind of stuff. But love don't pay bills. Love don't pay bills. You women and men both want security. They both want financial security. Be women and men. No, you have to understand that. A lack of financial security will affect your peace. It will affect your health. No, am I getting a little in your house right now? Okay. And if you doubt that, let someone just think, if for those of you who happen to like me, but just run a scenario in your mind. What would you do if your job is gone tomorrow? Would it cause stress or happiness? What would you do if your income comes to a screeching halt? Right now? What's your plan? Oh, I live off savings. Great. Most people can't do that in 2 months. Most people are about 3 checks away from homelessness. Maybe you're the fortunate few. Maybe you can live for about 6 months, but you're taking money out of your retirement plan. Now, that's why it's so important to get that residual income. Sir, take it from me. When your job is gone and and you go through some prolonged financial pressure, it's going to affect your woman. I promise you that. It's going to affect your children. Now, she may be sitting up there telling you that. She may be sitting up there telling, oh, yeah, we got it. We cool. We cool. But deep down in her heart, she's scared. Because they're looking for you to figure this out. The kids are looking for you to figure this out. You're looking at you to figure this out. So therefore, I would advocate, take strong consideration before calamity happens. Put strong buffers and walls in to make sure it doesn't happen. And doing nothing is not an option. Start your business. Register your freebie account. Get plugged into training. Learn what the millionaires learn. Learn what they do, where you can get what they have. It's up to you. It's not no one's responsibility but you. This is the greatest opportunity, if I've said it many a times, to be alive. There is more millionaires going to be created in this time, in this pandemic, than any time in the history of the world. We're already seeing it. Black, white, Asian, Latina. It doesn't make a difference. It's the future belongs to those who are bold enough to go out and take it. Not wait for it, take it. Now, I don't care how many times you fail. You can get it plugged in the right system, like a freebie. You can get plugged around the right leadership, like the wealth builders, Dynas and myself. We can show you how to do what we do. But if this is not what you want to do, do something. Do something. If you're going to go out there and start a business, average McDonald's have about $2 million in your pocket. That's before you cook your first French fry. That's before you hire employees and everything. Just go ahead and weigh out the options, but run it in your mind. And before I get ready to dial off this stream right now, ask yourself, if my income was to stop, if a giant oil company is furloughing 20,000 people, if giant airline companies is laying off 33,000 people. If Funland, Disney World, where you take the kids and everybody looking at Mickey and Donald saying, hey man, we can't afford y'all cats. If they're laying 28,000 people. And you're seeing this, companies, you're seeing foreclosures, you're seeing people losing, and just in this country, 40-something million people are in housing distress. That is in either being ready to be evicted out of their home or to lose their home and foreclose. You're seeing all these things going around, and you got your head in the sand thinking it won't come to you. That's not wise. But meanwhile, you're seeing the other end of the spectrum. You're seeing people more YouTube channels. you're seeing people buying more webcams, and they're starting on something. You're seeing people writing more blogs. You're seeing people launching and getting out in there. There's the people who don't do anything and wait for collapse, or those are people who are, I'm anticipating collapse, but let me put a buffer, let me put a boundary in place, and just in case this come, or you have to treat it like when it comes. And I need to build residual income for my family and my children. I need to make sure that I'm straight. I need to make sure that we have a roof and we have a way to do it. If something happens to me, I need to make sure my family is taken care of financially, where they can go ahead and live. I need to leave generational wealth. That's how you need to be thinking. In order to do that, ladies and gentlemen, you have to build your own business. You have to build your own platform. Or you have to invest in someone who got a business and stuff where you get a good percentage of that for you and your family. So I'm gonna let you guys get out here. Just something to think about. But John Jackson made a comment like really spooky. I think he was talking about India Terror. It's not that spooky. It's spooky if you don't have the knowledge. It's spooky if you don't have to have the thing. The stock market and things that can be spooky if you don't know how to navigate. But there's two words. There's two words I want you guys to really, really take to heart that will take all the spookiness away. It's called inside information. If you can see something before it hits and you can prepare for it, you have a very, very good advantage of someone who doesn't have that same information. Now, and I'm telling you, it's a financial storm out there. It's worse than what is being painted. The lot of the numbers could be not accentuated like they should be on Bloomberg, or whether Yahoo Finance or CNBC or all these other CBS Market Watch or New York Times. A lot of those numbers are not really what they are, because it's an election coming up. It's an election coming up. But you know what? You could just study the derivatives market. For those who have talked about that, the derivative markets is in trillions. If that implodes, what are you going to do? And so we're here trying to help you. We're here trying to we're sounding the alarm. Say, hey, let's move together. Let's practice group economics. Let's build a referral based business. Let's build a free based business. Let's help each other make wealth. I can't grow higher or build wealth for me unless I build wealth for you. And same way with Dynaz. And so in my close, which is generally the same one all the time, Warren Buffett, the great billionaire, who incidentally has diversified into gold. That tells you how much he thinks. He got a lot of his banking stocks, and he bought a significant stake in Barrick Gold, a company based in Toronto, Ontario, who has got several gold mines. So he thinks something's going on with the gold market. He diverged from Chase, from Goldman Sachs, and JP Morgan's made up some real sweet Class A shares to do that. So I think he knows something. But he has said this: if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you are going to work until you die. You may not work until you die. You are going to work until you die. Okay? Michael Delco says, if you don't come from a wealthy family needs to come from you. Prince Don Asmir says, titles are not sexy. Income is. People don't care about your title. They care about, do you have the money or do you not? I challenge anyone on this stream, including your kinfolks, to prove me wrong on that. No. Anyone. And I'm confident in saying that you will not. I know it to be for a fact. It's not confident. It's not cockiness. It's just confidence. I know you don't want me to prove that statement wrong. And deep down in your heart, you know you won't be able to prove me wrong. Fitzgerald Stevens says, if you don't make moves will be made on you. That's what happened to the 81,000 jobs has disappeared. I promise you, as my skin is brown, that a lot of those people saw the signs. They heard about the COVID. They thought they were straight. They heard about some of their friends losing their jobs. They thought they were straight. That CFO, he thought he was too high to tumble.
All right.
He thought he's simply too high. You're talking. Well, you know what a CEO of a Fortune 50 company like what Ford Motor Company. You know what those guys are making? Try losing seven figure, if not a 13 of 7 figure, if not an 8 figure income. Gone just because one guy says so. Try losing that. People say, "Oh well, you know he's straight. He should have saved." Well, I hope he did. I hope he did. But my point of the matter, it was taken. It could be taken. And so he has to come in there, man. He probably you talked to him 3 months ago. He thought he was cool. No. So he didn't, you know, maybe he prepared, maybe he did. I hope he did, and I hope you are. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I sound as serious as I do. This is sometimes we joke, and sometimes we'll talk about a little football, and sometimes we'll laugh a little bit, but right now I ain't in a joking mood. I'm here sounding the warning bell for you, for those of you all over the world hearing my voice. You better build your home-based business. You better build your residual income. You better start acquiring assets, gold, silver, palladium. You better start real estate. You better start doing it. You better create wealth income streams that are not dependent upon you and your time in order to generate it, or it's going to be devastation. Maybe not for you, but for your dependents after you, simply because you didn't take action. Now, and on the final note, I was watching one of my favorite comic book characters, Batman, and I was looking at him on YouTube and stuff, and he was training with this group called the League of Shadows. You know, that's how Batman's able to fight. So all that. Mm-hmm. But then his trainer says something. How can I say this tactfully? His trainer, I'm not going to say it tactfully. His trainer said, your parents' death was not your fault. And he said it was your father's. And that really stung Bruce Wayne. He said it wasn't the death, it was your father. And he said, because your father failed to act. He failed to act. And Bruce said, well, he had a gun. He should attempt to overcome. He should attempt to overcome it. He failed to act. Okay. Well, the economy's bad. They're laying off a job. You failed to act. You're not building. You're not in mission to initiate building a business of your own. Well, you know, I got divorced. I got sick. You failed to act. You didn't take measures, you know, to really put you something together to possibly ensure your finances in the event of those things.
I'll write that down.
They laid me off. You failed to act. You didn't heed the warning signs. I thought they told me I was family there. You failed to act. You didn't look around and see all these situations happening with the economy, all the stuff going on in the news. You didn't look at all these people, you know, who are getting their homes and their stuff snatched for them every single day. Homes getting broken up. And you're seeing this, yet you fail to act. You fail to save something. You fail to put something working for you. You fail with the time you had to build a system. You know more about Monday Night Football and the NBA playoffs more than you know about stock options and buying stuff and start a referral-based business and building wealth in your company. You know about other people's more business. You know, games, you know more about Warcraft and everything, instead of, you know, about, you know, how to read signs and how to get financial education, how to read books, how to get around people, learn what they know. You fail to act. Therefore, you have this calamity. Sounds harsh. It certainly caught my attention when he said those words, because it's the truth. And the truth is sometimes is not given in easy increments. I would do you, ladies and gentlemen, ma'am, sir, I would do you a disservice to sit up here and lie to you. I'm not interested in being no motivational speaker. I'm a true teller. Ain't nobody can dispute this. They can say, well, you know, Fitzgerald, well, this and if that, and those are excuses. When I started my Carrot Bars Free Bay account, I was 50 years old. I had the college degree, had the title, you know, going through a couple things on my marriage then. You know, and looking back, I said, okay, but I need to move, because if I don't move, Retirement is screaming down the highway at me. If I don't do something and put something working together with me, I ain't going to be devastated financially. Okay? I made that decision to go and to move. And I didn't ask anyone's permission, including my wife's. A man asking his wife for permission to take care of his home. Dude, you don't even want to talk to me. You don't even want to open your mouth up to me saying something like that. you don't want to do that. Not with me. You know, the wife and I separated. I still built my business. You know, we that was almost a 20-year union. I still built my business because I started off, okay, I want to take us with it. I want to do something together, but I don't need your support to build a vision that God has placed in my heart to be free, time and financially free. If you support me, great, but your lack of support will not stop me. You need to understand that. She's gone. I'm still here. My vision is still growing. You get what I'm saying? Because I put in the work. And my job now is to empower other people to put in the work. Let's build together. If not, if we go ahead and say that, and and we think we had a good talk, cool. We had a good talk. No, great. Wish you well. For those of you who want to take action, register your freebie account. Set something up. Set something up. Prince Amir call you. He'll plug you in. He'll put you in touch with me if need be. Do something. It's like growing up in church, and I'm a Christian. Make no apologies for that. Before I understood the more about the power of God, I would go to these churches, and and I would see people dance and celebrate and praise and shout and do all kinds of things. But I noticed after they left church, they went right back to the same thing. There was no power. There was no change, like a whole bunch of gymnastics. And I wasn't programmed like that. I said, God, I'm looking for breakthroughs, looking for wisdom. Show me. I learned I had to line my life up proper. I learned I had to do what it was said to me to do. And so that's where your power comes. Like, your power comes from the doing, not the talking. So someone tell you, hey, build residual income, get your own business, try to eliminate your debt, spend less than you earn, get yourself where you can save 20-30% of your income, start living off your investments, stack stuff away, put that stuff in assets where it's paying you, stuff like that. But you tell me, man, I can't do that, but yet I'm seeing you with season tickets to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Atlanta Falcons, or season tickets to Alabama Crimson Tide and Georgia Bulldogs. Some of those packages cost over $1,500 that you can get them. I'm seeing you wearing the new sneakers. I'm seeing you able to tell me more about LeBron James and Anthony Davis stats. Or I'm seeing you tell me more about the Miami Heat, who ain't sending you a dime. You're not committed. I'm seeing Jordans on your children's feet instead of shares of Nikes in your vault for your children. I don't question your loyalty. I question your wisdom. That's not intelligence to me.
Right.
No. So it's out there. It is the greatest time to build wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably one of the most serious streams I've ever given in all the time Prince Amir and I've been on there, and I've made a lot of them. But I'm tired of seeing people hurting. I'm tired of seeing people collapsing. I'm tired of seeing marriages end because of finances. I'm tired of seeing student loan debt crippling people. Student loan debt has a lot of people putting off families. You try coming out with a 6-figure debt. No, I mean, it has a lot of things. Now our illustrious host, Prince Amir, he doesn't know what student loan debt is. He was gifted enough to get a full scholarship to the University of Georgia. Man, I respect that. I still got student loans. I still have student loans. And I can show you my degree. It says May 1988. Do the math. I'm not going to have them pretty soon, but but think about that. I have a car payment out there. Because when my car blew up that I paid for and that I paid for outright in cash I owned, I had to go get a note. I had to go get another note. And man, I feel that note every month. That's hundreds of dollars that I could be putting in assets for myself. And I'll get it paid off. I need it. Get it paid off. It costs you, ladies and gentlemen, more money to be poor.
All right.
You're going to pay higher insurance rates. You're going to pay definitely higher medical costs. It's already been proven, like in some, depending on how you were, how you are and who you are, you're going to pay more higher interest rates from some of the banks. Those are discriminatory practice that's known, man. Please. And so we're here to help you. We have respect for you. I respect every single body, including critics. I respect you. Now, I say to critics, you just don't know what you don't know. You got an opinion, and that's fine. That's all I'm doing is opinion, But but the stuff I'm sitting up here saying, it works. No one can dispute that. And please don't do this. Let's say the viewers, this type of pain, not necessarily you, because let's say the viewer. Don't divert that we should be doing everything in Africa. What are they doing about the rice paddies in Vietnam? What are they doing about the Pan-Africanisms over in Democratic Republic of Congo? What are they doing but Paul Kagame in Rwanda? His daughter is 6'4", he's 6'2". What are they doing to balance to make the height ratio equal? Please tell me, how does that build wealth in your home? The question and the objective is to build personal wealth in your home for you and your family and your children and your grandchildren. That is the nucleus of this conversation. Long as we stick to the main thing, all the rest of the stuff can take care of themselves. Now, once you start getting the money and stuff like that, then you want to start getting in other interests. That's cool. Let's focus on getting you and your family on very strong financial ground. Not only you, but your children and your grandchildren. And you can only do that, in my opinion, to the fullest with having your own business. And that's what we're talking about now. Prince Amir, man, I am going to have to go. The weather is doing real good, and I get on the bike. So I appreciate your time. So reach out to Prince Amir with Freebay. We'll talk to you. Let's build wealth together. God bless you all. Appreciate it. And thank you all for the wonderful comments. I really haven't read them all. I'm just going to assume that they're just great. Thank you. Thank you guys for taking time to hear me out, because at the end of the day, I help myself by helping others. That's what it's about. God bless you all.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Again, go to dynastymir.com. Also, Freebay. Filling links in the chat room, scrolling at the bottom of the screen on the ticker, and will be in the description. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.